Andrew.
Yes.
Hi.
You didn't even notice
First
him?
time meeting you. I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity.
I'm not that big.
Andrew's awesome. And
Especially
modest.
now. He's lost a ton of weight.
Oh my God.
I take your classes on YouTube. I've seen you on X, well, Twitter, but I'm just saying, right?
No, it's X now because it's so bad. It's no longer Twitter to me anymore.
Listen, later on, can you give me a virtual autograph? Just saying.
Sure can.
All you have to do is fly up to his place and he'll take care of you. He'll get you a payday bar and an autograph.
Yeah. Are you good with shoes or?
No shoes.
He is Jamaican. He is not good with cold. Period.
I'm from the West Indies. We got snow.
Roger is anti-cold. He'll have to come visit you in the middle of summer. Or reinvent if you two ever decide to show up again.
Yeah, probably next year. Right.
We got to start making some plans to get Roger out there.
Great.
And figure out how to kidnap Andrew too. All right. Might as well get going. We're 3 minutes late anyway. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to vBrownBag. We are at the end of the year, so we are going to do a little bit of a reminiscence. We're also going to do some cloud therapy. We've had a request from Charlie. Roger, why did you change your name to Charlie?
This is therapy, right?
Oh, he's Charlie Brown.
I get. Okay, sorry about that.
He's Charlie Brown.
I'm an idiot. We're gonna have a little bit of a cloud therapy session. We're gonna talk career advice, and we are also going to ask the audience what you folks want to see in the coming year. We are starting to talk to speakers. We are starting to plan. We've got some ideas, but we want to make sure that the folks that are in the audience are the ones that are getting the most out of this. We love talking with everybody, as you can tell, because we do it every Wednesday night. But let's try to get some guided recommendations on what we can talk about. We've thrown out some recommendations. We've talked about AI. Shala and Sean, actually, we're all very enthusiastic about AI. Shala is at the forefront of all of our chat GPT learning. Sean, what are the things that you want to see? Andrew, what are the things you want to see? Welcome to the show. We did not plan on having a guest, but you're here, so let's do it. And I guess I'm just going to kill this. We don't need to see this thing. Everybody knows who we are. Everybody knows who Andrew Brown is. We've got me. You can follow me at Mistwire on everything. Shala, you can follow her at Gifted Lane on everything. Roger is Roger K. White on the soon-to-be defunct Twitter, and you're working on getting your stuff stood up on other places. Sean is Sean Doyle 808, and Andrew Brown, who I didn't know was jumping in, is at Andrew Brown on literally everything. So yeah, stop that. We'll flip back over to a nice, happy, everybody can see everybody's head gallery view, and let's get into it. We've had a hell of a year. We've had a lot of amazing speakers. We've done a Python series. We've done an infrastructure as code series. We've had fantastic folks. Let me pull up the list of the folks that we've talked to. Anything that stood out for you guys? Anything that was amazing, fun that you wanted to give a shout out for? Some of our speakers from the year. No, everybody's.
Yeah.
Man,
you need one more second.
You're killing me here.
Well, we did a lot of infrastructure as code this year, a lot of Python conversations as well. Not to mention some of the conversations, my conversation with Iodeli for AI and security, and we're looking at kicking off another series of security conversations for next year. We're starting to line up some individuals for those conversations as well, and then of course we had Liz Martin Strong for that how not to suck as a manager. I think that was
a super fun chat.
That was a super
I
fun
love that one.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't go without saying, that one of the most fun ones was actually the one with Shala as well, when she did the chat GPT. Of course, what's interesting is, you came and said, hey, how to make an extra 20K for, a month. And I can tell you, I dipped back into my old ways. I'm just doing my thing, I still use ChatGPT for things, but I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, why am I not trying to go for this 20K a month thing? So we'll work on that one. We'll work on that one, Shop.
So we do need to. We've got a couple of folks lined up for 2024. We have an AI lawyer that I met at a meetup group the other day. Nice. She is phenomenal. I enjoyed talking with her. We have another lady who is a prompt engineer, the first in the wild self-admitted AI prompt engineer that I have met. She runs her own boutique AI training company to teach people how to become prompt engineers. So she's going to be coming on early in the year as well. So I think that AI is going to be around for a little bit. People seem to be excited about it for some reason or another. So what do you think about doing one on leveraging? So we've done the Python track. We've had some conversations on APIs. What about doing some work with using Python to run the API from ChatGPT, creating our own chatbots or something like that? Doing a series on that, would that be something fun? Would that be interesting? Would that be? We've all got access to ChatGPT. We can all create Jupyter notebooks. We could just sit here and create things to argue with each other.
I noticed that. This is more of my interest, but I noticed Intel is starting to have a lot of offerings for AI, and I think they keep promoting that they can run LLMs locally very effectively. But I don't know. Has anyone been seeing the buzz around Intel and their AI offering?
Sean, weren't you playing with local LLMs?
Yeah. Not specifically with Intel, but I've been messing around with like LM Studio. It's like a desktop app that you can use to download Hugging Face LLMs. And there's two types. There's they're quantized, which just means they're made super small so they can run on a laptop. Yeah, so I've been playing around with that. I've actually started playing around with Llama as well. So it's an open source project. You can go to Brew and install, I think it's Brew. Anyway, you can download this. You can go to GitHub and get it. Llama, and they have different models that also come from open source models that you can just run locally. And I think.
Are you cool saying Llama or Old Llama?
Llama, OLL.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you're talking about Old Llama as in Llama 1, not the new Meta Llama 2, or if you were saying O Llama. So O is an Open Llama.
Open Llama, yeah. Here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Here is the repo. If I can find the chat.
There. Yeah, Andrew got a laugh out of me on accident.
But yeah, I think it would be cool to do like an episode maybe on like even AI integration into your code editors. I mean, I know there's like they already sort of are starting to make those like in VS Code. You can have Copilot and all that. That's been around for a while. But like, I think it'd be interesting to see how people are using that, like beyond just coding. So I personally use Emacs. And I've been messing around with local LLMs in Emacs. Emacs, if you don't know, is the greatest editor known to all. And now it's on a recording. No, it's not. You're not recording, Chris.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's recording.
It's recording.
Oh, okay. So
you have to spend at least 5 seconds on every recording saying how much you love Emacs, don't you?
Seriously though, like it'd be interesting to see like have people integrated, how people are using LLMs, not just like ChatGPT, but other LLMs as well. Because there's so many models out there. Like, which ones do you use, and what have people found to be effective? I think that would be an interesting talk.
Okay. All right. Well, let's noodle on that. Duan said burnout is real in the webinar chat. So why don't we pivot to the Bring Your Own Burnout section, and then as we get into that, maybe that'll generate some additional topics. Mr. Roger, you said you wanted to have a cloud therapy session around burnout. So what's going on, buddy? Tell me about your mother.
No, I guess for me, the AI buzz is a big deal. Anything you do nowadays, of course, is attached to a cloud, and it goes straight across all three major cloud platforms. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to know. It's a lot to ingest, and even just like hands-on work, trying to keep up with the changes in AWS and the changes in Google. It's really hard for anyone to be able to do that. So big kudos to anybody that is able to, navigate through that whole world and just be able to keep up with all of that. But I'll tell you, there are days that I start reading stuff, and by the time, there are days I go on LinkedIn and I look at some of the things through, posts, and by the time I'm done the first half hour, my head is just like boom, 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 boom. So it's a lot.
Well, I don't know of anybody that's keeping up with all three.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even back when I was an EA at Worldwide, I just stuck with AWS, and then casually learned a little bit of Google Cloud, but I didn't try to stay deep. I mean, I was surface level on Azure and GCP, just like I was aware of the names of the services and what they were similar to in AWS, but the only one that I went deep into was AWS, and even that, it was only a couple of services. I wasn't trying to learn all of the services in AWS. So is that, are you trying to be the pro on all of them, or
no?
Where's your burnout coming from?
My burnout is even just coming from learning one of them, right? I mean, with the announcements that keep coming out. I mean, this past Monday, we had the announcements from OpenAI from the Dev Day on Monday. So a lot of new changes for developers when it comes to OpenAI. So you can imagine just those changes alone, we haven't gone through all that yet, what changes are coming in OpenAI. But man, there's a lot. Right. So I believe Sarah has a question. Right, she has her hand up over there. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Outside of the panel.
Oh no, she's put it down.
Okay.
Oh no.
She didn't mean to hit that button.
Sarah, should we allow her to talk, or so she can ask a question?
No, she didn't have a question. She did not mean to hit the raise hand button.
Oh,
it was an accident.
Oh, next time we call on them next time.
Yeah, right. if they raise their hand, they have to come up with a question.
You gotta ask the question.
That's it. Does anybody else have burnout talk? So Roger, you specifically said you wanted to talk about career burnout. So
wow. Right.
No, I mean you said when we were shooting the poop in the Discord channel, you said I definitely need the cloud therapy. I need to talk about
topics of discussion, but listen. So from a burnout standpoint, it is, like I said, there is a lot. So from my standpoint, just learning AWS and Bedrock, and working on now trying to integrate those solutions with other services within AWS. I mean, it has been an interesting road, and I do just try to make sure I'm aware of the news that comes out on different things. So I'm not trying to learn every different service like in Azure and Google, but being aware of some of those changes and how it may impact the different services that I'm using or trying to work on. That's how I do my focus. But I mean, going hard and fast through this year. I mean, we started in March with, different changes in the, I guess the landscape of technology, and it's just been one big roller coaster ride. And now that the end of the year is coming up, we're kind of slowing down, and it's like, whew, man. So to all you, anybody that's going out to reInvent, I mean, you're going to get a nice injection of new information that is going to be like, right? And I will be there, but I will be there with you in spirit.
I actually like the way I love and I hate conferences. I love conferences because if you actually go to the keynotes and you pay attention, you can absorb the surface level of all of the things that they talk about. So I will be there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, especially Wednesday for Werner's talks. But learning what the executives have to say about the direction and what services they think that are going to be important. And of course, the GA releases and everything that Andrew and I have been privy to that we're excited to finally be able to talk about once our NDAs are released. So that's kind of like what I'm excited about. I hate it because it is literally 18 hours a day of frantic running to and fro and trying to catch up with folks that I only see literally once a year at reInvent, if that, and then trying to spend 15 minutes, half an hour with somebody in Vegas is impossible. It's just like, okay, great. And you can only squeeze 3, maybe 4 meals in a day to have a coffee with somebody and chat and catch up and, reminisce about the last time you spent 15 minutes with them in Vegas.
Last year.
Right, exactly.
And this will be my first tech conference, period. So.
Wait, what?
I've never been.
Stop it. Serious?
Yeah. You have to understand, I got my CCNA after working as a network engineer for 5 years because I didn't know that existed.
So I didn't know that. So I promised Shala that she would be my +1 for all of the hero events. I don't want to ruin her for every conference going forward. Do it. Sean, Roger, and I have a common friend named Margot, who is the PM on a couple of our engagements together, and she went with me as this was the year before I brought Kim last year, and Margot went with us, and she got to the VIP dinner with Werner. She got to the VIP lounge at Replay. She was like, wow, these conferences are amazing. I was like, oh no, I have ruined her every future conference because she'd be like, this sucks. Like she got bottle service. I mean, all the things like she was taken care of. And it was amazing. But whenever she goes to a conference now, she's like, I hate you, Chris.
That sounds like my flight travels after traveling with work. And it's like, yeah, they ruined travel for me. In a good way.
So Andrew and I will make sure that we ruin you for it.
I actually have been reading this book, Building a Second Brain, because I'm doing a lot of revamping of my note-taking system in Emacs. And but he has a funny quote here. So according to the New York Times, the average person's daily consumption of information now adds up to a remarkable 34 gigs daily in your brain. But that report was actually in 2012. So who knows what it is in 2023, right? It's just a ton of stuff coming at you all the time.
And is that for a tech worker, or is that for a regular schmo that doesn't have to memorize a book's worth of information every day?
It was in 2009. That's when the article was published. So 34 gigs daily in 2009. That adds up to the equivalent of 174 full newspapers worth of content each and every day in 2009. Can you imagine a tech worker in 2023? It's probably a terabyte a day. So it's a lot to process every day, right?
So, since we're showing books that we're reading, my copy's downstairs. I'm reading Deep Work, That's
I
the
gotta
book
read
on
that.
how to get rid of the extraneous distractors from your life and actually be able to like dedicate a couple of hours of deep work time per day, and rituals to like train your brain to get into it so that you don't distract yourself. And the obvious stuff like turn off social media, turn off your notifications, everything like that, but like really good tactical mechanisms for training your brain to get into a deep work type of flow, like on a daily basis. I'm almost finished with it, and I'm going to immediately start it over again because it's that good.
Yeah, I'm terrible with that. I've tried recently blocking, like pre-blocking focus time. Like everything's shut down. Nobody get a hold of me like in the middle of the day. Because like the middle of the day is the work day. And I don't want to have to work at night because I'm so distracted by meetings and I can't get my work done during the day because that's what I'm being paid for. So block this time, nobody bother me. This is my block, right? But it's hard, right? Because you want to be accommodating.
Yeah.
But
you're trying to get stuff done though. So I have 2 focus hours per day set up in my calendar, and Gmail is actually pretty ingenious in the way that it sets it up, so that it'll notice when you're busier. And I basically tell Google Calendar to give me 2 focus hours per day, Monday through Friday. And it'll figure it out. It'll move it around in there to a certain degree to make sure that I get 2 focus hours. So that's what I've been doing.
you have to show me
read the book, and it'll get you in the right mindset to turn on focus hours, because just turning it on isn't enough. You have to kind of like be like mentally ready for it too, in a way the book explains it really well.
Yeah. Plus, isn't there like certain times that most of us are more receptive to information? Like some people are better studiers in the morning, and other people are better studiers in the evening. So
Exactly.
or lunchtime. I know that 12 o'clock, I can't study at anywhere near lunchtime.
I'm really good at night. I love reading at night. That's my jam.
Yeah.
Same. But yeah, the project that I'm working on or have been working on, it forced me to where, I have big old chunks of blocks and it says focus time. And sometimes what I'll do, because my team, the developers I work with, they can see my calendar, which is intentional. It'll say focus time and whatever thing they needed me to work on, and they leave me alone. And it works really nice. So I could, get work done.
Duan just mentioned The Power of Habit.
Yes.
I am currently adding that to my book list.
It's good. I liked it because it did help me like create habits. And then once you build that habit, it just becomes natural.
By Charles Duhigg. It is now on my Kindle. Nice.
I also fit in meditation breaks. So I do the whole, what's that, Pomodoro method. So even for work, so I'll set my calendar for 25 minutes, focus on the thing I'm focusing on. And then for 5 minutes, I'll stretch, get up, walk away from the screen. Or for 5 minutes, I'll meditate. And that helps me too.
I really do like the Pomodoro technique, both for working and for learning, because it really helps my brain. If I don't do it, then I'll get caught up. And what really stinks is that with my new job being a DA, I kind of have to be on social media, which super stinks. But when I'm doing the Pomodoro stuff, I'll turn it off, and then when the 25 minutes is up, then I'll flip over and like check to make sure that nothing has exploded from a posting perspective, and then I'll flip back in after 5 minutes again. Sauna equals meditation.
You know
Nice.
what?
So here's you have a sauna, Andrew.
I was going to say, here's another book you can add.
What's that?
Taming a Wild Elephant. So for all of you who want to like get into meditation, that helped me a lot. It was a recommendation from, if anyone follows the Running Green Girl, she's like one of my faves. I chat to her all the time. And she shared that book with me, and it helped me build that meditation habit.
How to Tame a Wild Elephant and Other Adventures in Mindfulness?
Yes. And so what I do is, each chapter that gives you something to do, I do it for a week. So like one of those weeks was doing stuff like not using your dominant hand to do majority of stuff, and then you reflect on it. It's cool. I like it. And it's helpful.
I do that when making breakfast in the morning now. I switch to my left hand just to see if I could scramble eggs with my left hand. I'm that weird. All right.
Hey, so by the way, Duana, I actually got it wrong. I don't have that particular book that you just mentioned, right? The Power of Habit. I actually have Atomic Habits, right? Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results, by James Clear. So yeah. Wow, you read that one, Shala?
Oh, I read. I am a reader.
Nice.
I churn through books. Something else that just came to me, someone who had posted a while back, someone I'm close to. Other things I keep in mind too, because I get asked this a lot, like how do I like learn, work, all this kind of stuff. And just like, it seems like I'm always constantly going, which is true. Someone had posted once, I'm gonna have to find it, but they're basically just like, stop letting babies outdo you, because they're like, when babies first try to like start walking, they don't like, fall and then be like, okay, I'm gonna try to just start running. They keep falling until they can walk and they get really good at it. And then they start to try to run. And so it's like focus on one thing before trying to do a whole bunch of multitasking. And that's also something I really like. So it's like, stop letting babies outdo you.
Yeah, I'm actually really terrible at that. I need to, so based on our How to Make 20K episode, I have been leveraging ChatGPT to like really fine tune the different things that I need to concentrate on. And more importantly for me, the priority in which to do them. Because I am the consummate Udemy class buyer. I will take, I buy a bag of apples. I bite one apple and then I toss it over my shoulder and I take a bite out of the next apple. And then I toss that over my shoulder and I take a bite out of the third apple. And I never finish one apple. So I'm starting to use ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, this is where I'm at in my career. These are the things that I think I need to learn. Assume the role of a career coach and tell me what I need to get nailed out first, second, third, fourth, and it's walking me through it. I want to get better at public speaking. I want to get better at video editing. I want to pick up a hobby. I want to get into digital photography. I want to get better at Python, as we all do. And so I'm like, okay, ChatGPT, help me, because I clearly cannot help myself.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Shala.
Oh no, I was just agreeing. I mean, I think I told y'all last time, like I even used it where I was like, create me a 25-day plan to lose like the most like weight as possible. And it came out with like a really good calendar. And I did like, I lost some inches. So I was like, all right.
So you're talking about Udemy. So last week they made the announcement that they were having the beta exam for the data engineer associates. And I saw that Stefan Merrick had a course on Udemy for it. So I bought the course and then I went through like 4 or 5 videos. I registered for the beta exam and I was just like, what are you doing? I just literally created on ChatGPT a study schedule for my machine learning exam, which is at the end of this month. And here I am looking at the beta exam. So I was just like, okay, yeah, we need to reel that back in a little bit. But I saw another yesterday. I was going to buy it, and I was like, stop.
It's because we're all lifelong learners. We all love to learn, and we get excited about the next thing. It's that natural desire to like jam more stuff in our heads, I think. Andrew, you came off mute. Did you want to add to that discussion? Yeah, you've been you've been far too quiet this entire time.
I've been on mute this entire time. I recently bought a piano tuner to tune my piano. That's how distracted I get. So I'm just like, oh, I can tune my own piano, and it's just always one thing after another.
So you're tuning a piano. You're building a geodesic dome greenhouse in your backyard. Two of them.
Two of them, yeah.
Small engine repair for your snowmobiles. And the Terraform boot camps.
Yep. All over the place.
So do you have any advice?
Drink lots of coffee, I suppose, or I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think that some people are wired that way, and maybe it works for some people, and I don't know. That's just how it is for me, but I think people need to figure out what works for them and keep at that pace, right? So,
yeah, and it's interesting because Shala just mentioned that she did the ChatGPT thing to find out a plan for nutrition and and training. And one of the things it says in there is to eliminate coffee, right? Or if you drink coffee, it has to be like black coffee, no sugar, no nothing. Yeah. And I can't drink coffee unless it tastes like Starbucks, right? It's got to be super sweet to the point where it's just like, ooh.
Wait. You said Starbucks is super sweet. No.
Yeah.
No. Oh, he means the milkshake Starbucks. He means the milkshake. Like
because McDonald's has the super sweet coffee.
McDonald's.
Roger's more of a pumpkin spice latte girl, if you know what I mean.
Hey, white chocolate mocha. Okay, no routine.
At the beginning of the pandemic, during the lockdown and everything, I switched over to just straight black coffee, and I got an AeroPress, and I started learning, because me and my wife went to Costa Rica a decade ago, and we had the coffee beans were picked in the field right across from the hotel and brought over and roasted in the basement and then ground and brought up to our breakfast table every morning.
Wow.
And coffee that fresh tastes sweet and creamy the way that it tastes. Like we add milk and sugar to our coffee to make it taste the way fresh Costa Rican dark roast tastes naturally. And so now I just get Costa Rican dark roast and I use my AeroPress here in the house to try to replicate it. I still can't get I still get kind of close to it, but I don't use cream and sugar anymore because I know what perfect coffee is supposed to taste like. So now that's my morning aspiration is to try to get as close to as I can to that morning.
Yeah. And I guess I could also add, so for me, I'm I've definitely gone through burnout before. I've gone through it twice with 2 different companies. And for me right now, because of the project I work on, it's fast paced and everything's always on fire, every day. So I'm I could notice it where I'm just at the point where I'll hit burnout. So I was just well, PTO time.
So actually, that's a really good idea. What are some symptoms of burnout, and what are everybody's healthy tools for dealing with it? And I say healthy because mine is drinking. When I start burning out, I drink, and I should stop doing that. So Shala, you want to go first?
Sure. My symptom is when certain sounds, either the computer or work phone, alarms, say Teams messages, you get a ding, Slack, you get a ding, whatever. When those start going off and I feel, I guess, triggered, instant annoyance because I hear it, I'm reaching burnout. I'm tired of people reaching out to me, basically. And that's a problem. That means I need to take a break. And then there's sometimes where in the past, which is why I'm in the cloud, burnout happens because I'm just straight up bored with work, with the company I'm at or the role I'm doing. And I've shared this before, but the reason why I'm in cloud is things like being on call and at 2 a.m. as a network engineer, I get woken up because someone needs printing legal paper. And that annoyed me so bad. And I was just like, I'm done with this job. I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, I have a comment I want to say to that. If you're on a knock team and you're getting a pager alert at 2 a.m. in the morning because somebody needs a printer refill, that is a crap company. I mean, that is an extraordinarily poor use of resources.
And it was when like things started changing, because that's not how it used to be. And so that was my signal where it's just like, I'm burnt out, company's changing, time for me to go. And so now I'm in the cloud.
Roger, I just said pager because that's everybody knows what a pager is. Shut up.
What's a pager?
The alert from the thing. All right, Roger, you go. What are your symptoms and your coping mechanisms?
Man, I hope this doesn't come back to me. I start watching old sitcoms like Frasier,
Golden Girls.
No, The Big Bang Theory. And what I'll end up doing is just binge watching it. So no matter what, I just can't stop looking at Udemy. I'll watch a video for 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a break. And then 2 hours later into Netflix, I'm watching, Frasier, and I'm like, right. So my wife always knows, hey, okay, you know what, you need to slow down a little bit and whatnot. And I guess one of the things we haven't touched yet is like some of the coping mechanisms to be able to do that. And my coping mechanism now is get up early and go to bed early, first of all, right? Wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go to the gym and just take out my frustration on my and the weights and stuff like that. And walks are good too. Walks are really good. Right. But for me, it's lifting weights now and just, and Andrew, I am in the sauna, right? For 5 to 10
he's got
every morning,
in
Monday
the sauna.
through Friday, I'm in the sauna and, doing that meditation. And I just find that as soon as I get back, and start work at 7:30 in the morning, I feel refreshed and kind of just ready to go. And even then I'm just ready to jump into a training course and start looking at reading stuff. So I'm usually more prefer my studying at nighttime, but if I don't go to bed and get up early in the morning to go to the gym, my day is shot. It's trash.
We as technical people, as sedentary desk dwellers, we vastly underestimate getting a good exercise in, whether it's going out and walking or getting into the gym 3-4 times a week. My wife knows when I stop going to the gym because she'll be like, you didn't go to the gym for the past 3 days. Go to the gym right now. Because she can just tell I'm not the same person. I've got to get my yayas out because either that or I'm going to throttle somebody on the road. Humans have to move. It's part of our nature. We're not physiologically engineered to sit at a desk for 15 hours a day, and this job does us no favors. It's a great paycheck, but it does us no favors from a physiology perspective. Getting yoked is the cure for burnout. All right, now we're going to get into the benefits of TRT or something.
Now, do you think, and this is just a question for the group, because this is what was going through my head. Do you think when I was coming up in the industry, I'll never forget, I had a mentor. So I came in as a network engineer. That's what I wanted to be. I got hired as a junior network engineer, and the guy, I'll never forget this because I worked next to this guy that hired me, and he had 5 CCIEs. He was super he just understood networks. And I asked him a question, and he's like, did you look this up yourself yet? And that always stuck with me, because he's like, try to do some more research first and then come back to me, right? And I think as we move more towards AI and rapidly available information, that's making that symptom worse, where people don't want to like do the homework themselves necessarily first. They just want quick answers. So like that leads to, like, as Shala said, the incessant like pinging, right? Like, hey, can you help me out real quick? I got this problem. And like that just comes to people more and more often. Whereas like people, does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Because
and
like
Andrew has a lot of opinions about this, having taught 10,000 and 7,000 people respectively over the past couple of months.
It's really interesting. I mean, it's like you go and your DMs are so filled. You like, it's not even possible to reply to people. I'll come back and I'll be reading messages and it'll be like people have written essays to me. And, you know, I feel bad, but it's just, you have to kind of accept that you can't keep up with it, but it is very much, it's hard. It's like you can't even, especially when boot camps are active, it's like you can't even move. Someone try to say something to you, but sorry.
No, absolutely. And yeah, like Duan, absolutely. Like, I think that's totally true too. Like if you just take a break, I know for me personally, if I'm working on a hard problem, like my gut reaction is to reach out to somebody and like ask for help right away. But, or like keep banging my head against my proverbial virtual desk as I'm working on a coding problem or something. Like, I know I can solve this problem. I know I can get that map to do what I want it to do in this loop, but like it doesn't work. But if I step away for like 4 hours and I just don't think about it, like I'll just like, oh, I could try this. And then I go back and I try it and maybe it works, right? Or rubber duck. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But yeah, I mean, Andrew, do you feel like bad? Like, does that, I guess, to continue on what you were saying there, like you get all these essays, you get all these questions to you. I mean, you want to help them, right? Obviously, but like, does that like, you know, I'm sure it's like exhausting mentally, not just like because you want to help, but at the same time, like you have all these other things to do. So it's just the balance. It comes down to time management and balance, I think, really what it is, right? So like,
I mean, like it's a bit different at that scale. I mean, what you have to do is you have to roll up and try to hopefully push things the best way you can and communicate them at scale. And, you know, I'll be answering people like the entire time and I'm only making like 1% dent. And so people are saying, you're never answering me. But in reality, I'm answering people constantly. Right. And, you know, the simple thing is you just have to accept that there are limits to what you can do. And all you can do is apologize and just accept it. And that's just all there is to it. You know, it's just what you get at scale. Sorry.
But isn't there a way to maybe even leverage some of, again, like the, you know, AI tools out there to help summarize some of those, communications to you and summarize it down so it's a little bit more easily digestible so you can respond quicker?
Possibly. I mean, you could use those tools, but I think that the other advantage is that again, like with the boot camps, even if I'm not able to answer it, there is the leverage of the community, and they do get answers that way. Mm-hmm. Could you leverage AI? Sure. I think that you'd only be able to do that after, like, the issue is like I'd have to run a boot camp and then run the same boot camp to leverage the data in order, I would think, to best respond. And you'd also have to monitor for a while. So it's not like an instant thing. It's like you have to do a run and then make sure it does expect what you want. You still have someone to audit it, right? Sorry, I think anyway.
No, that's good. That's actually correct, right? You got to train the data for it, and then be able to make sure that it's actually responding the way you want it to respond as well. So, agreed.
So to answer Dan's question, what is the rubber duck reference? So Dan, the first time that I heard of it was a Harvard CS50 class that I was taking. I was auditing it, and basically the instructor gave out rubber ducks to all of the students and said, when you are running into a coding problem and you don't have somebody to talk to and ask help for it, speak the problem out loud to the rubber duck. Walk through your problem, step it out to the rubber duck, and invariably when you it's called rubber ducking. I don't know if it was like ubiquitous across all of CS or if it came out of Harvard or whatever, but rubber duck debugging is when you don't have somebody to code pair with and you want to talk to somebody. So you get a rubber duck.
That's
now you can rubber duck. Now we should rename it because now you can talk to ChatGPT or a local LLM. You can call it
a little rubber duck. I don't know what's
but rubber duck sounds, it's cuter. So that's going to stick.
It absolutely is much cuter.
But I've always found that really interesting because anytime I'm working through an issue and I'm having a hard time, I will literally talk to myself like as if I'm providing like like in my videos, it's like I'm doing a video for myself, but I'm not recording it. And for whatever reason, that really helps to stay on track because especially if there's noise around you, right? Then you can definitely stay on track. So that's really interesting about rubber ducking.
Here is a free code camp link talking about it and potentially the history behind it. Why does my duck look like a zebra? So
the rubber zebra. Rubber zebra duck.
So this is an entirely different segue. Jeep Wrangler owners have this thing where they give each other rubber ducks all the time. Like my wife has a Jeep Wrangler, and every time she goes out to the car, there is like if she parks in the grocery store, when she comes back out, there will be a rubber duck sitting on top of her car. Jeep owners give each other rubber ducks all the time. She has a large collection of rubber ducks. And so I stole the one that I liked. She's got a mummy, like a Cyclops mummy rubber duck that she got for Halloween. And so yeah, that's why.
Matrix rubber duck? What?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I want that one. Oh, I'm going to order that. I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
15 euros.
I was going to mention this before, going back to that whole, the conversation about, how to kind of just like take a break. We mentioned stepping away. One of the things, Chris, and you actually suggested this, and it has literally changed my life, right? And my work, how I work as well. The standing desk. Oh man, I did not realize how much, because after a while you sit and whatnot, and it's just crazy. But that's the standing desk, getting up, and even just the ability to just kind of like move around, and sometimes I do a little dance, But other times, I mean, it's just great to when you get tired, you feel tired, you just stand the desk up and you stand up, and it helps a whole lot. I did not realize how much, and of course you made that suggestion to me during the pandemic, which was even better, right? So I swear by my desk. I will, if anything happens, I'm buying another one right away. Too sweet.
Yeah, they're really nice.
I hope you paid your nickel for that therapy session.
Nice plug. If I could get $1 from everybody that got an uplift desk for my recommendations, I would appreciate that.
I remember when you were looking for that desk. You were trying to find one.
You know what? They're super fantastic, but they are the biggest pain to like put together. I dread if Kim and I ever move from this place. Holy crap! Disassembling this thing will be a nightmare.
It will be part of the house. So I have.
Yeah, just give it up.
Yeah, mine is with the fully because I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum of being short. So they have a special frame for us short people. So I don't have to have a footrest. And yeah. But yeah, I meant to mention that too. Like, it's just awesome. Like my team, like I'm notorious because any given time throughout the day, as we have different meetings, I'm never in the same spot. And that helps a lot.
I'm going to send you all a picture of Kim standing at my standing desk where it's set to my height, and you're going to pee your pants. It's hilarious.
I could probably just walk under the thing without even ducking.
You absolutely could. It's set to 50.1 inches.
Oh yeah, that's taller than me.
Sorry about that. I'm still getting over a cold.
So what do you do? What do you do, Chris? You've asked all of us. What do you do?
And what does a therapist do?
What does the therapist do?
All right. So legit, I have worked at horrible startups. I worked at companies where I was ground down, worked 140, 160 hours a week. And it was good and it was bad. It was bad because it's horrible for your mental health. It's horrible for your relationships. Kim and I almost broke up over it. But it's good because you understand what you can take, what you can deal with. When you get pushed to the breaking point like that, and then you leave that, it gives you this 2020 hindsight clarity that every gig that I've seen since then, I can be just like, oh no, I'm not putting up with that. I'm sorry. I now have this ability, this like sixth sense. Like when I'm talking to a potential future manager, I'm like, nope, that person sucks. I can see red flags the way that people see road signs now. It's a gift that I had to go through hell to acquire. So when I pick jobs, I pick the right boss. I ask the right questions in the interview process so that I don't get to a burnout phase anymore. Back when I was at that company, I would drink, I would get high, I would do any of a number of things to escape the hell that was my on-call life at that company. So I do not allow myself to be put in those kinds of situations anymore. I'll quit before I get there.
Yeah, for me, I had my startup nightmare. I gained a bunch of weight is what happened, and I had to burn it all off.
I also gain weight. I get a big old tubby tummy.
And maybe that's what burnout, when you start to feel the brink of burnout, maybe that's a time to rebalance the scales towards self-care, right? Like, yeah, that's the sign.
So I try to force myself to go to the gym 3 times a week. If I'm in an area when I'm getting really crispy, Kim and I have a great relationship. She'll be like, nope, you need to go 4 times a week now, or you need to go 5 times a week, or you need to start looking for a new job. So I've got a good work-life balance right now, but it's because I impose it on myself. And when people ask me questions about it, then I try to help them like with their career advice for those kinds of things too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will say you've definitely been a great career coach.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot. It's kind of funny because I was trying to think of things to talk about for this, and I was looking through my like folks that just like hit me up on DMs and stuff like that, and I have a lot of examples of like how to help folks like negotiate salaries, or how to get their boss to like give them valuable feedback so that they're not just, oh, well, you know how to be better. No, I don't know how to be better. You got to tell me, you got to give me the steps so that I know what to do to meet your expectations. And it all kind of just boils down to fundamentally connecting with the other human to make sure that you're communicating in a way that, I don't know. It's hard to explain when you're not like talking about a specific example, like when me and Shala talk, or when me and Sean talk, or when me and Roger talk, and y'all are like running into an issue with person X or something like that. When I'm put into those kinds of situations, I can say, okay, these are the exact words you need to say in this order to figure out how to get clear communication and clear information from that person. When I just vaguely wave my hands in the air and say, y'all need to communicate better, that doesn't help anybody. Can you give me an example of 2?
I got several.
Red flags are what questions you will ask to indicate a red flag. Oh, yeah. Shala, you go first. If you got several, line them up.
Okay, my first one, whenever I'm looking for a company, and this comes from like startup days, early IT days, my big red flag, if I come into an interview and they sit there and they're asking me a ton of technical questions, like as if you're sitting for an exam, I don't want to work there. I want you to get to know me. I'm fine if you like give like scenario prompts where just like, hey, let's say this situation is happening and how would you work through it? I'm cool with that. But if you're just straight up just asking questions to see if I can answer them, I don't like it. It that turns me off real quick.
So no Udemy quizzes for you, basically, right? No.
Nope.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that, I mean, I understand trying to discover whether or not somebody, like if somebody says they're good at Python and then you give them like a JSON structure and say, okay, use Python to pull this piece of information out of the JSON structure. That's a fair ask. If you're trying to have them like recreate a sorting algorithm from CS 101 that you know, a course you took 17 years ago, and it's something that anytime that somebody asks me a question that I can Google and immediately get the answer for, I'm like, I would just Google that. That's not something I keep in my brain because I don't need to memorize dumb stuff.
That absolutely.
Sorry. Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, sorry. For myself, it's like I will. If again, I'm not on the job market, I'm not going back on there, but I would look at the hiring manager. I would look at their educational background. Because often if they went to particular schools, like for computer science, I'll go and I know what I'm getting. I'm getting those DSAs. They're the like algorithmic questions. And so today I even posted one of my friends who is they got laid off, so they're trying to get a DevOps role in Toronto, and they're asking him programming questions, like deep algorithmic programming questions to get DevOps roles.
Yeah.
Why?
You're never going to use that.
Right.
You need to know about pipelines and HCL, honestly.
Right. Andrew, you posted that today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, that was, well, I saw that. I was like, really? But I mean, if you think about it, most companies nowadays, they're trying to get as much as they can out of one individual, so if they can get somebody who can program, who can do SRE, who can, go into the data center to, reboot a switch, they'll find that one person, right? Rather than just hire 3 people.
Very true. I think like, I was just thinking about this, and I agree. The stump the chump questions are ridiculous. And yeah, Duan, you're absolutely right. Like thinking about the future and like the market and throws in the market and things like that are definitely worrisome, right? Like you got to think about that kind of thing. I think for me, the biggest thing that I've learned in my adventures going through IT. So I don't have a background. I mean, I have a background in IT because I was always a nerd playing with computers when I was growing up, like hacking DOS and, getting Snake to run on my old Windows box. But I think it's just about like, if you can just like continually seek out information that is like, or if you can show employers that you can learn. Like whenever I interview people, I hate asking them. The interview process currently is so terrible. It's like buying a house. Like, hey, we drove by this house a couple times in this neighborhood. I guess it's cool for me to throw like all this money down on it when I really don't know because I've only seen it for maybe a max total of 5 hours. Like same thing with the interviewers, right? Like I only can see you maybe for an hour, maybe 5 hours, and like. So it's this weird balance of like, I got to assess that you understand and have the technical knowledge to do the job. But I'm more interested, at least when I do the interviewing and when I go to interviews, I'm the same way. Like if they start asking stump the chump, I'm like, mm-mm. But if they start asking like, okay, how would you approach this problem? Or how, if you don't understand how to do it, what would you do? Right? Because then that shows like they're thinking about how I can work through the problem to get to the solution versus like just knowing the solution off the bat. Anyway, there's my.
So sorry, maybe just a hack for those that are trying to get that kind of interview process. At least in Toronto, if they're still running these events, they used to have things like hack and tells, and also like when you go to meetups. A lot of the times they are basically recruiting grounds, especially in Toronto. Specific companies, they're running at their headquarters. They're trying to find the best person, and so in those platforms, you have the best opportunity to demonstrate your skill. Just as we described, like the work that you're doing. And a lot of times, hiring managers go there, or somebody that is someone that's a senior technical person's there. And the idea is that they can vet you, and even if they're going to do something to chump, or whatever, at least you get that pre-round where they get an idea of your skill set. And so I always found that like a hack around the traditional pipeline. But again, that's just my suggestion there. Sorry.
Yeah, do you have a link to that? That'd be cool to. I would like to learn more, but I'm sure people in the audience would like to learn more if they're in that area. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hacktel.
Well, sorry. I would just say that, like in Toronto, there was a couple that would run hack and tells. But I think that there's there are again just regular meetups where you could just have your project and treat it like a hack and tell, and during the socialization, say, "Hey, look at this cool thing I built," and whatever, and people get really interested and excited. And a lot of times, the hiring managers they're trying to find smart people, so. It's like your one-to-one hack and tell with people, and so that's kind of my suggestion there.
So one of the places that we have down here is called Major League Hacking. I put the website in the links, mlh.io, and they run like 500 hackathons a year.
Wow!
All over the country. They concentrate mostly on education. Kids in high school, sometimes kids in college and stuff, but that's usually the range you want to be doing hackathons anyway. It's so back to the red flags.
I'm laughing at Roger.
Starts asking you what direction they should take.
That and if they're like, hey, we like what you're doing, but while we're doing this interview process, can you like submit to like our open source stuff? Like not working for you for free.
Right. Yeah.
Red flag.
So another red flag, when you're having the initial conversations with the company and you're trying to like, if you know what the role is supposed to be. For example, like I'm an enterprise. I was an enterprise architect until I became a DA, and depending upon the company, there can be a very large discrepancy between what they think an EA is and what you think an EA is. So when you're having your initial conversations with them, I invariably will stop the interview process and I'll go, okay, what is your definition of an EA? Or what is your definition of a software engineer? Or what is your definition of a developer advocate? You tell me what that is. I'll tell you what I think it is. And then let's figure out if that's a Venn diagram that's 2 circles or 1 circle or a pair of binoculars or what. And if you are massively off on what you think the role is and what they think the role is, then that's a red flag, obviously.
Yep.
If the job rec is everything under the sun, must have CCNA, must have C++ experience, must also be a developer, everything and everything, because the guy that just quit because he was so burnt out that he never saw his family for 5 years was doing everything. And they know they should hire 3 people for the role. That's also another red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question to ask. How many other people will I be working with whatever team I'm joining, right? If it's 1 to 5. That could be
how
lot
many
of
are
work
senior,
for you.
how many are junior? What's
Right.
am I gonna be the smartest person? You never want to be the smartest person in the room.
No.
I always strive to be the dumbest person in the room so that I can learn from everybody else and level up my game. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep. I needed to have asked those questions. I know that now, but those are questions I needed to ask when I got my networking job, because I ended up being the lead network engineer with no previous experience. And it was great long term, but that was terrible. It was stressful.
It's scary. It's scary at the beginning when you're like, oh, what? Shala, what should we do?
Dude, the first time one of the ships lost connection, I was just like,
oh, when they had to fly you out to the boat?
uh-huh. I didn't know what an IP address was. Dude.
Wow. That was a long time ago. Holy crap.
Yes.
Okay. We have
a pager.
We've talked a
Chris
lot.
is getting paged.
No, we're not getting paged. Did y'all realize that this is one of the last episodes before the end of the year? We're taking a break for Thanksgiving. We're taking a break for reInvent, and then we've got 2 episodes left before the end of the year. Kyler Middleton is going to talk Git some action with GitHub Actions and Terraform. She's actually currently right now at GitHub Universe, just gave a great talk today. And then the person that she's giving the talk with, I'm going to say Sai, I'm not going to say the last name because I don't want to mangle it. The do's and don'ts of cloud migrations, Azure, AIC, DevOps, Terraform, and pipelines. So we are going to be ending the year with a bang.
Nice.
Awesome.
Mr. Brown, any final thoughts before we wrap this show up? You're the guest, I guess, since we.
I think I mentioned
Special
this earlier.
surprise guest.
Is anyone else reading Britney Spears' memoir? Because it's really good. No,
I can't tell.
I am curious about it though.
Are you serious? You're genuine? You're being
Oh
serious?
yeah. My twin sister got me into it. She got the book and then she lent it to me, and I'm just like, it's a you cannot put down kind of book.
Why can you not put it down? Is it salacious?
Got to read to find out. Got to read to find out.
Well, entice me. I'm not just going to crack open a Britney Spears book on my own. Give me a reason to crack it open.
Yeah, it's just the details between her and Justin are just so juicy.
Is it a biography? Is it an autobiography? Is it
a memoir?
Yeah.
Memoir.
She finally just kind of like gets into it. Because I mean, I grew up being a Britney Spears fan. So like I've been following her whole thing and like her having to fight like crazy to get out of guardianship and all that. So it's just, yeah.
What's up with her dad now? Now that he doesn't have his hooks under her money. Actually, you know what? Never mind. We can talk about this off. This is not vBrownBag appropriate material.
Oh, I was gonna say real fast, and this is shout out to Roger. But another red flag: if you're like you've like getting ready to accept offer, whatever, and you have not heard from your manager, like that's not a good sign.
Yeah. That's right.
And I say shout out to Roger because like Roger made me feel welcome and warm like instantly. And I had never had that from a manager before. It was amazing.
Oh, hearts. Is there a way to do hearts in here? Can we do hearts no, we can't.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep.
How'd you do is that a thing?
Yeah. For my K-pop fans, hurts.
It's not doing it for me. I stink.
You have a heart. You're doing it, but yeah.
Is it? Wait.
Just hold it.
I can't get it. I can't. It doesn't work for me.
It is not working for me.
But yeah, heart face. Or you can just do it like this as well. This works. There you go.
Why is Roger getting it done? And I'm sad. This is absolutely
something we're missing here.
Stupid computer's not working for me. Did somebody take a screen cap of that?
Roger's got an AI filter.
I hate you, Roger. That's not true. I love you. All right, folks. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for all the questions. Super wonderful to see so many people engage in this. Duan, buddy, we are going to be hanging out with you in 2 weeks. So it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be lit.
That's a reinvent.
Yeah, at reInvent.
Reinvent. Okay.
Yep, we're going to see if I survive.
Not too late to get a ticket, Andrew.
I'm staying put this year. There's a lot to deal around here. Winter's already rolling in. We got lots of snow. New electric furnace, got to keep on top of it. So,
all right.
Winter's
we will be thinking about you, Andrew.
next year, though, I'll be there next year.